she's talked all about how you have to get out of your comfort zone to grow it all. And you have to like challenge yourself. If I don't do this now,
when?
It was also like multiple miscarriages. And so it was really hard. But then my daughter, she's another just miracle. And I was so grateful for her. 2 years later, at 44 years old, I found out completely random that
you were pregnant.
That I was pregnant. Yeah. It was just really a hard time.
You're married and you have 3 kids. You have help.
Luckily, my job right now, it works with our schedule in the sense of I'll just give you like the day, the life.
Yeah. Welcome to the Best for Your Nest podcast, and we are sponsored by Owl Roofing. And today we have Stacey with us, and she's going to share about her fancy career, about 3 kids that she's raising, and moving around the country and around the world and coming back to Shoreview. Welcome, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So you are one of 4 girls.
Yes.
Tell us, how was it growing up like that?
You know, it honestly was fantastic. At times there are fights and everything like that, but I have 3 sisters. They all live in Shoreview today.
Oh my, that's
there's
amazing.
3 of us girls and 4 girls in 5 years.
Okay.
So it was a busy household, to say the least.
And where are you in the order?
I'm the 3rd.
Okay.
So it goes Shelly, Susie, Stacey, and Stephanie. So
that is pretty fascinating.
Yeah, really fun. I think it was a very busy, like we were busy. We all went to St. Odilia and then to Mounds View, played in sports and really a ton of extracurricular activities. And we were all very different, but it was really just a fun
Any
childhood.
of you in the same grade?
No.
No, okay.
Mm-mm.
So you were able to each have your own grade, your own friends.
Correct, but 3 in high school. And one time we all played basketball, and at one time 3 of us played on the same team.
That's
out
so
on the
fun.
court. Yeah, which was really fun.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That
and you have 3 kids.
I do.
Do you have all girls?
No.
Okay.
So the funny story with our family though is my dad had 3 older sisters. Okay. His dad had 3 older sisters. And then he had 3 daughters, and he thought for sure my sister was going to be a boy, but no. And then my oldest sister had 3 daughters. Oh my second sister had 3 daughters.
That is
My
funny.
younger sister then had 2 daughters. And so I came along, and I got married, later in life, and I was like the last one. And there was a boy, so that was very exciting. Okay. So my parents were very excited
you
for
2 girls and a boy.
So I have a boy, girl, boy.
Oh, okay. So you broke every stereotype there in that family.
And on my husband's side, it's all men.
Okay.
So he has an older brother, 2 nephews, and then my in-laws were so excited about the girl. My parents were so excited about the boy.
That is so fun.
Yeah.
That's pretty fascinating.
Really fun. Yeah.
How did you end up in Washington State for college?
Well, it's an interesting story, actually.
Because Minnesotans usually stay close to home.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So my dad went to the University of St. Thomas, and my older sister was at University of St. Thomas too. So I was actually enrolled to go to St. Thomas. I was wanting to play basketball and soccer. And then I graduated, and it was like June timeframe. And my dad said, "Hey, Mary Lou Retton is speaking at this conference. Do you want to go?" And I thought, sure, why not? And she's talked all about how you have to get out of your comfort zone to grow it all. And you have to challenge yourself. And then I looked around and I saw all my high school friends. They were going to France. They were going to Michigan. They were going to Seattle, all over. And I'm like, what am I doing here? And so middle of the summer, had never been to Washington, had never been to visited the campus. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And so luckily my parents were super supportive, and they were like, okay. And we had a neighbor that had gone to Gonzaga, and he said, if you want to go to a beautiful school in a great area, go to Gonzaga. And at the time, no one knew Gonzaga.
No, and I've never heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of it.
It's in Spokane, right?
Spokane, 4,500 students. And it wasn't until my junior year that they became very good at basketball. And so since then.
So did you get to play basketball there?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
They're Division I.
Okay.
So I did. We were intramural champs.
Yeah.
But didn't play there. But I did go to a lot of the games, and it was really a very fun time. Gonzaga is a fantastic
What
school.
did you study?
Studied finance and operations management.
Okay.
So I loved numbers and loved trying to figure out how processes could be improved. So those two connections.
We need you. So how was the first chapter of your career? Did you start with Accenture right away?
Yes, so I interviewed at Gonzaga for a number of different positions. And at that time, similar to my whole life story, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't know what industry, what specialty. I envied my sister because she knew she wanted to go to the medical route, or I just envied people that had that clear path, and I didn't. And so Accenture, Anderson Consulting at the time, came to interview on campus, and I thought, oh man, this would be great. And they had interviewed over 100 applicants, and it turned out there were 4 of us that got a job with Anderson.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, and it was perfect because it gave me an opportunity to test out a lot of things within the consulting realm. So my first year,
where was your location?
So it was based in Minneapolis.
Okay.
But my first year I traveled to Detroit each week. So I would fly out on Sunday morning or Sunday nights or Thursday mornings, spend 4 days there working, and then fly back Thursday nights. And I did that for a year. And then the .com bust and things happened. And Anderson at the time, or Accenture, said, hey, would anybody like to take a little break, and we'll still pay you 20% and we'll still hire you, but would you like to? And I was like, sign me up. I haven't been here long enough. And So I ended up moving to Seattle with my sister for 6 months, and I visited my younger sister in Australia for a month, and I traveled, and I just took this time, lived in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho for a couple of months.
Okay, worked on the ranch or what?
And on the golf course, actually.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, so it was really a great time. And then I came back to Accenture, and I was based here.
In Minnesota.
Working at Best Buy in United Healthcare and I kind of found my niche. I had a great manager, and she just kind of let me run and learn and figure things out. So it was great. And then I really realized, hey, I like this company. I want to stick with it. So then after Best Buy, where did I go? Oh, Comcast out in Philadelphia for a 4-month stint. And then I did EMC in Boston. And that was, over 2 years, I think, where I'd fly back and forth every week. And we had a big go live. So that was in Europe. So I was able to go to Ireland and support the users there, and just fantastic opportunities.
Amazing.
And then where did I go? Oh, Toyota Financial Services in LA.
Okay.
And that was
that fun?
That was wonderful. One of my favorite projects. And right on the beach. I mean, I'd go running in the morning and then go to work, but the commute got long. So Minneapolis to LA every week.
So you kind of never really moved to these places?
No. I would, especially Boston, I think I slept in a different hotel room. And there was a time actually that I never slept in the same bed for more than 4 nights in a week.
Oh my goodness.
So
that is hard to imagine.
Kind of going in as this role, you're going in and kind of helping them get processes and systems
set up.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Or deploy, we did a lot of Siebel work back in the day. So anything related to customer relationship management was my kind of domain. Cool. And then I had some friends in San Francisco that my former roommates, and they were like, why don't you move out here? You're single, you're working in LA, come out and just for a couple years and, do that commute. And I thought, yeah, this is the time. I kind of had that Mary Lou Retton moment again, if I don't do this now,
when?
But yeah, I was single, and you know how you're just trying to figure out your life. And so that was one of the best decisions I made. And again, I signed a lease on an apartment without having seen the apartment or anything. But my friend, my former roommate, she went and looked and said, Stacey, you got to jump on this. So I did it. It was awesome. It overlooked the Golden Gate Bridge, and it was
Of course you didn't see it. You had enough details and descriptions to not see it.
Enough information. And so, yes. So then I did that for a while where I was flying down to LA each week. And then I finally was pretty exhausted. And I said, I got to find a project like here in San Francisco. And
is that where you took the Salesforce?
Not yet.
Not
so
yet?
Cisco, Cisco Systems is in San Jose. And so I did that commute. And then
that
finally,
is far.
Yeah, it was an hour. So I'd have to, it was long, very long days, very challenging project. And I was burnt out after that. And so I ended up taking like 10 months and I did a adventure tour in Argentina and Scotland. And I mean, I did a bunch of different.
You can write a book. Your life sounds amazing.
I just went and did it.
I mean, it was just that time of my life and I'm so grateful for it. And then I said, finally, I need to find a company that's based in San Francisco, that's still like customer focused, that's innovative. And I was also just kind of like teetering on, do I want to go like nonprofit route? And Salesforce is very much on giving back to the community. And so I was like, this is perfect. So luckily I had a friend that had gone on to work at Salesforce and she said, absolutely. And so that kind of started my Salesforce journey.
Because you've been with them for how long?
So I was with them for 11 years.
Amazing.
Yep. And so I was in San Francisco for 7 of those years, maybe. And then I had an opportunity to move back here and I kind of jumped on it. I was ready to. I was knew that San Francisco was a fantastic environment, but I still kind of had hopes that maybe I would get married and have kids. Even though I was like later on, I thought,
And was San Francisco not the place to do that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of transplants in San Francisco and it's just a different, and plus, like my sisters were having kids. I knew I wanted to be back in Minnesota to be in their lives and be part of their
journeys.
So then I moved back and worked for Salesforce. It was great. Trying to think, did a lot of strategy and operations within the customer success group. So I'd say that that's kind of my next, so it's like consulting and then moving into like technology, customer success. And I loved that. Led teams, but also did the operations and strategy.
So did you have to quit your job to meet your husband? Or were you still able to meet your husband while you were working?
No, I was able to. Luckily, it's a funny story because my sister, Susie, right when I moved back, I had done a bunch of dating things that horrible. I can tell you tons of stories about that. But finally, my sister had just moved into a new neighborhood and she was at a barbecue with all the people there. And she said, does anybody know anybody that my sister, I could set my sister up with? And I was like, okay, don't make me look like so desperate. Like, come on.
Don't announce this.
I know. But then my sister-in-law was like, I might have someone. But he's like super independent and she listed, and my sister was like, yep, that's a good fit for my sister. So eventually we went on a date. And I kind of didn't, I remember I didn't even really get ready for the date because I was so sick of having my hopes kind of like.
I can relate.
And I think the first time I met him, I was like, oh, this is like refreshing. This guy is great. And like, he is so Minnesota, like I keep thinking like, he's so Minnesotan. And this is the fate. I mean, like, I want someone so Minnesotan.
That's so funny. That's something I was running away from. The way even you are saying Minnesotan makes him even more Minnesotan. So it's just, that's amazing.
Where did you go on your first date?
We went to the brewery at not Hammerheart. What is it called? Dangerous Man.
Oh, okay.
Down in Northeast.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
For a beer. Yeah. And I was like snooty San Francisco, beer, but I even brewed my own beer back there. And I was in a beer club and, like wine club. And my husband is like Coors Light guy. It's kind of crazy when he gets like the Guinness but he is Coors Light guy. So it was great. But I remember that first date, like we had talked to the guy that was at the bar with us. And I just loved how he was so kind and nice and
that's awesome.
Just so even keeled. And I'm like, so he was just like, great. So
that's awesome. How many years ago did you meet him?
10, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
So we dated for like a year.
Okay. Nice.
I don't know if I should be getting all this.
No, yes.
Dated
we'll be asking you if you don't say it. So
knowing me, I was like, let's get going. Like I'm upper 30s. Like if we're going to want kids, and I mean, we got to get moving. And so, like just after a year, he proposed. And I was on track for the wedding, and 3 months later, I had the wedding.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, we got married on Nicollet Island
love that.
Nicollet
we just
Island
drove by that
pavilion
area. The other,
in February, and it was just beautiful and wonderful. And and then found out we were pregnant and had our son after that. So
that's
it was
amazing.
very quick.
Yeah.
Were you ever feeling at any point like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do in the Midwest? Coming back?
Yes.
Or were you, because I feel like,
oh my gosh.
and I don't know, you, moving here, people get married younger, and everybody knows everybody. So it's kind of like coming back from fancy life.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Did it feel like intimidating?
My normal weekend in San Francisco was like, let's go bike through the wineries and taste wine. Or let's ski.
It's like very picturesque and very like story. Yeah.
And let's go hiking in Muir Woods. Or, like very much. And then coming back here, I'm like, oh my gosh, what?
Brewery again?
What are we going to do? Like, look, so I mean, I'm very thankful. Some of my best high school friends are back here. And so we've kept in touch. My sisters then started all migrating back here.
That's awesome.
And so that was really nice. And then just trying to get involved, because my work, I didn't have people here for work. And so just trying to find outlets to meet people. I think it is tough to break into the Minnesota mold.
It's
so
great if you're from here and like grow up and stay, but it's tough to, and I think like coming back. You're a different person.
Right. Completely.
Are your sisters all here?
So since then, we all are. We're all like within 3 miles of each other.
That is amazing.
And it's just really
And are your
fun.
Parents nearby too?
They're just a few miles too.
So
we are. Cool. It's really neat and special. The only thing, like my sisters, I'm envious because my sister's kids all kind of grew up together. They're all, and I'm just later. So the benefit of that is I got to see them go through so much, and they are like, have so much wisdom about just raising kids and not worrying.
And you
about
probably
things.
have full as babysitters.
That's true. That's true.
So how old is your youngest?
My youngest, he'll be 3 in June.
So 8,
5, and
3.
3.
Okay.
Yep.
And you wanted 3 kids, or you just ended up with 3 kids? How did that happen?
Oh, it's so fantastic. It'll make me cry thinking about it. But, as you get older in life, I was like, I should say, when I was little, I always wanted 4 boys. Like, I just thought, I'm going to have 4 boys. Like, why not? Right? Crazy. And then as I got older, I realized, like, holy cow, like my time for having kids is shrinking. And so when I found out we were pregnant with Billy, I was just like elated and so grateful to God for this gift of Billy, And so then that happened. Then we had a lot of problems and I coming from a family of 4, like I wanted to have more kids. And the doctor kind of said, well, I think 42 is the
cut off.
You don't want to, just there's a lot of risk to you. And I was like, okay, so in my head I had 42. So we were kind of marching towards that, like, what can we do in those few years? And then so we had some help along the way, but it was also like multiple miscarriages and so it was really hard. But then my daughter, she's another just miracle, and I was so grateful for her. And then 2 years later, at 44 years old, I found out completely random that
you were pregnant.
That I was pregnant. And I just could not believe it because we had so many, it was just really setbacks. A hard time. And then all of a sudden, and so, it's kind of, you switch it's almost like, I just know this child is supposed to be here. And like, I am so great. Like, I'm not going to worry about during the pregnancy. I was like, you know what? He's in charge. Like, God's in charge. And this is just amazing. Like,
that's so awesome. For sure.
And so, you Google everything of like, who's the oldest mom ever. But and so I think that's been like such a blessing because I have looked back in my career and like, I've had these significant chapters, like career in my 20s and 30s was trying to figure things out and move back here. And then for sure 40s has been all about the kids.
So what does your husband do?
He works for AAA Insurance.
Okay.
So he.
So you're both full-time employed,
yes,
pretty much.
Yes, and he works from home too. So we kind of have separate offices.
Did you ever, at any point, think about being a stay-at-home mom, or did you not?
Yeah, no, I definitely. I think always growing up, I thought I would be stay-at-home. Like I always just kind of. But then, like I think if I would have just gone that. I'm glad I didn't. Like I lived my life. And then what's interesting is, and I was so successful from a career perspective. It was like,
didn't make any,
it just doesn't make sense for us financially and all of that. So then it was interesting, like about however many years ago, 3 years ago, Salesforce had a number of layoffs and I like 10% overnight one day. So I was part of that layoff and I was like, what? Like, how could they do this to me after 11 years? Like, I was just, and then I like flipped. I'm like, what? This is the greatest blessing. I'm 4 or 5 months pregnant. I'm not going to be able to find another job where I don't want to work. And I've luckily saved up and have been okay to make it through for a while and a great severance. So it was, so I did have an opportunity. I ended up taking 2.5 years to stay home.
Nice.
And the other 2 were in preschool or, in kindergarten, but it was really a neat opportunity. Towards the end though, I feel like I got to a point where I'm like, okay, I feel bad for this kid. Like he's just like going to Target with me and running errands and cleaning the house and like, and so we.
So you're not an entertainer, you're saying.
Yes,
you're like me.
Like I love playing with my kids, like ball and all, but I'm not like look at the truck or look at Barbie like that. Not at all. So so then I knew hey, I'm gonna look for a new job. I kind of after that 2.5 year mark, I was like, okay, I'm ready. And maybe we could do like a part-time or something because my kids are everything. And it's very important for me to be there when they leave and when they come home. And to be like, when your kids are sick, they just want their mom and, all of that. So I found a job. Luckily enough, I found this executive who I worked with before at Salesforce. He reached out and said, "Are you ready?" And
cool.
So that's what brought me to Calix. And I'm in a part-time. I'm their first part-time employee, like net new. And so they kind of want to see how this works out.
For sure.
And so I was glad for that time, that 2.5 years. I think it's like every phase of your kids' lives are different too. Like it would be so fun to stay home with my 8-year-old now, but he's at school and,
exactly. He has his life.
But I think, and then my youngest, Ben, when he went to school, or preschool, I just call it school. I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to have the hardest time. He's been with me for like 2.5 years. He's good. Oh, he had he didn't even cry. He was just walking right in there with his backpack on. And
I love that.
And he's just had a ball. And I just know that they do such an incredible job with these kids, like keeping them entertained and
occupied. And
for sure. So it's been good. I didn't have that mom guilt that I'd have with previous kids when I had to go.
I love that.
Time.
And do you feel like part of that also was just like you were like a little bit more willing, like because you said it was just like such a wonderful surprise that you were just like a little bit more like, let me just
enjoy these 2 years.
Exactly.
Life.
Yes.
And that's such a I feel like a rare thing because we
very
question
true
so many of our decisions, and I feel like you having like such a built out life prior to kids just like allowed you to be like, hey, I can kind of navigate this however I want.
Take a break.
And you're not listening to everything. And also sometimes do you feel like it put you in a spot where some of your friends were in different seasons and you kind of got to see your future a little bit?
Completely. That is a great point because my best friends all have kids in high school right now. So it's easy. And I'm potty training my we're all different points, but it's just neat to see because they would give advice. Like none of them are but just give I'm like, oh, and then they'd say, don't worry, it's all gonna work out. Or just see holy cow, actually, the quote, little kids, little problems, big kids. It's true.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
amazing.
they kind of paved a lot, and I've
This
been able
way,
to
yeah.
see. And now I'm seeing them, oh my gosh, the college decisions and navigating high
Yeah.
school. And that, I mean, there's just so much that kids that you forget about. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of lucky. I'm like the
A little behind.
Behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I feel
for
like that's
sure.
nice
That's
to be a little bit behind.
just
people,
to
'cause I
see.
feel like you get to
Watch.
it,
Right.
And like, I'm the youngest, and my sister's 7 years older than me, so
Okay.
it's like I got to watch her. Like, she has like older kids now, and
Mhm.
like we're in the new kids phase, so it's like you get the hands like to help, and she's like, I just love holding babies again,
yeah.
but also like you get to be like, this is so like such a short period of time, and I
Right.
don't worry so much about it, and you can't like. I think when people are so far out of it or so deep into it,
Yeah.
you can't give the same like perspective
Mm-hmm.
that like
No.
'cause, like my friend that also has a 3-year-old is calling me, and we're like in the same thing, and we're both just like, this is terrible, you know, like, and then like, you don't have any like good like
Yeah,
this doesn't
like a
work forever.
removed
yeah
perspective
me and I
more.
are like
Yeah.
dealing with the same problems, I feel like
Mhm.
right now, so
It's like
Yeah.
the kids.
It's
a
nice
little-
to have both those perspectives, like
Mhm.
from
Yeah,
for
those.
sure.
Yeah.
How do you have balance? You're employed, and your career it sounds responsible to me. It sounds
Yes.
like you have to be fully present.
Yes.
There, you're married and you have 3 kids. Do you have help? How does that work? Are you available to your kids when they need you, or do you
Yeah.
figure it out?
I think figure it out. It's like every week we just kind of plan, or even daily. It's like even with I feel like my husband and I, we are constantly tag teaming. It's like, okay, you got this, you got that, you know, and we're just working it out. Yeah. Luckily, my job right now, it works with our schedule in the sense of I'll just give you like the day, the life today.
I would
It
love
was like I got up 5:30 to go run or walk or go to yoga. Like that's my deal. And my husband's home to make sure kids, if they wake up, because always someone does early, you know, is there, breakfast, all that. And then, you know, I get the kids, or he does, to school by 9:15. And then I'm on from 9:15 to 4, let's just say, working. And then kids start coming home, and we kind of shut off everything to be with them. I help cleaning lady, women, I should say, every other week.
That's awesome.
I think I just have a great network of sisters and
Totally
grandparents, and that they will help at any point. But yeah, no, I don't know. There's not a balance. It's just navigating. And I feel like as moms too, or we just like are constantly trying to get ahead of it and prioritize. And so it's like, okay, the house is sometimes very messy and it drives me nuts, but that's okay. The playroom is, you know, it's okay. Or the work, maybe I will work, you know, it's a lot of the times on you. Like I say yes when I really should say no. Or
that's true. That's a good one.
But I don't think we don't have like this crazy social life outside of kids and activities and work, and it's just kind of, but it's a great life. Yeah, it's just different.
Are your kids in, like, are they in the activity? I never know when that starts.
Like, so it's my oldest is, he has to, I mean, he is so athletic and busy. Like every night he's like, what do we have tonight? What are we doing tonight? And so like, just like, I was like, okay, let's kind of narrow it down to what you want to do. And he's in flag football, 2 hockey leagues, baseball, soccer, maybe a second soccer team, and golf, like right now.
And that's narrowed down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he loves to fish, and he goes to Rubik's Cube class, and he,
is he a social butterfly too?
He likes to be around people. Like it's like, can I have a friend over tonight? Can I do this? Yes. He's so fun though. Like he keeps us busy. And then luckily my daughter right now, being 5, we've tried like gymnastics or soccer, and she just likes going to the Billy's activities, hitting up the concession stand.
Good for her.
Yeah,
that's great.
So he's super busy, but then I'd say on the nights that he isn't, we have my nieces and nephews are fantastic athletes at Mounds View, and there's 6 of them, 5 or 6.
Oh, okay, wow. So you attend those?
Yes, attend like baseball game. We love going to the baseball games and basketball and soccer and lacrosse.
So cool.
So if we're not like at his activities, we're probably at a Mounds View event. Yes.
Do you feel like, when we were talking about like you coming back here and like the adult friendships, I feel like they're so hard to make, because it's like for so long, for so many years, you are doing like friendships with like stages of life, and everyone's like, okay, well, this is because we're in college together, and like people never learn how to make friends as an adult. I feel like how do you, and then coming back when you're like, okay, I like had this whole other life halfway across the country. How did you kind of navigate that and like did you build a different social circle or like?
Yeah, and I think like even my sister said, you're gonna meet so many parents because of your kids, and I feel like that's been a key.
True.
Yeah.
And also like Shannon Bellin invited me to Momco, so our mops, like that was a whole, like I would have never met so many of the women in that group just in normal day to day. And it's I mean I it's just making like a sort of effort to do. You know, it's hard. It's getting out of that comfort zone because I don't know, like there's so much going on already. If you're not like part of the daily life, it's hard to reach out. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you think your career and just like your, I don't know, work ethics prepared you to parent? Do you think that played?
It's a lot of work, I think. No, I think, that's a really good question. I don't know how to answer that one. Let me think here. I mean, I think with parenting, my dad always just instilled like a lot of love and a lot of discipline. Like that was his like mantra.
So good.
And I struggle a bit because I don't know, like I don't want to say that.
Say that.
No, I don't know what.
Are you a softie? Can you say no? Can you say no to your kids or?
No, I do in certain things, but funny enough, like all the things that I told that I would never do when I had kids are, even I sat my sisters down like before I had kids and I was like, I think you're giving your kids too much sugar. And now they see me like, here's a sucker, they're like, how's that no sugar thing working out for you, Stacey? So
that's awesome.
There's so many things.
You have so much advice before you have kids. And so many opinions and thoughts on things. And then you have them and you get so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I feel like I've told you, they are never coming to my bed. They have their cribs. And then one day in January, Solange stopped sleeping. And she's younger. She's the younger one. Yes. She just turned 2 and she just stopped sleeping in her crib. She'll stand and cry or wait on you. And she's not laying down. So it's going to be whoever is going to win this. And we were not winning.
Right.
So then they slowly kicked us out of our bed. And now we are sleeping in the bunk bed in a different room. And our bedroom is completely dedicated to the children. And I'm thinking, I remember clearly saying, I'm not doing this because we know who's in charge. Now it's like, okay, what are the other things that I thought and said that are just so...
And it's okay though, it's okay to change.
Shake it off, move on.
And I think even it was just like, you got to just do what helps you to get through whatever.
Yeah, for sure, So sugar it is.
Sugar, if you got to have a sucker for breakfast...
Oh, that is...
Well, I was the same way. I was like, okay, I'm, like you watch stuff and you're like, not like that much sugar, or like only natural stuff. And I'm like, going through, I'm like, do you want a cake pop or do you want the like sugar, like what is the strawberry bread from Starbucks? And my daughter, it depends on the day. And like, I'm always like crossing my fingers that like we made the right choice by the time we get to the front. And then, but then I also think too, like, sometimes I was like I had pretty like strict parents on stuff like that. And I feel like it almost like teaches her, like, I'm just like, okay, have a cake pop at 8 a.m. I don't care. You're not going to eat it anyway. And like, she like takes one bite. She's like, I don't really like this. And I feel like kids.
What was the fight?
A little bit,
what was the fight over?
I'm going to make it seem like, no, you cannot absolutely have this. They're going to like want it even more. Like that was me as a kid. Like when I went to someone else's house that had gushers, I was like, this is like crazy. And I like, because I grew up with like all organic.
I don't even know what those are.
Good,
that's awesome.
Exactly. So you're, and I think that about that a lot. Or like my daughter the other day was at, like, we went to North Oaks Club for dinner and she ate one of the like Andes mints that they give you in like the check. And then she gave me that one. I was like, okay, because you get one. That's what we've learned. You get one, not all of them, because they give you like 4. And then she like snuck the second one, and I was like, oh man. And the next day she woke up and she was like, my stomach hurts. I can't go to the bathroom. It hurts. Like, and I'm like, and I was like, I will never be that like fearful. I was like, well, that's because you ate 2 Andes nuts yesterday. And are you ever going to do that again? And she's like, no, I will not. And I have a canker sore because Papa let me eat too many M&Ms. And I was like, well, you gotta get yourself re-regulated.
Lesson learned.
And now she's like, yeah, I can't have that. Like, I tried to offer her like a Nerds gummy cluster. I can't have that. I'm gonna get a canker sore.
This
I'm
is
not gonna scare
awesome.
her, but I'm like, I feel like
Yeah, that sounds way more effective than me fighting with them. And they're like, we want a treat.
Mhm.
And I'm like, we have
Sure,
carrots.
fine. Yeah.
This is my response. And then they
Yeah.
go find other people at somebody else's house, Tim, and they will twist their arms and they will get what they want. So
Yeah,
it's
so I
like,
think,
you can't win.
I've just learned like if you and I mean like you can't give your kids all sugar and pop all the time, but it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pick
they're
your
gonna figure it
battles,
out.
right?
They're gonna get
Yeah.
stomach, like the natural consequences will happen,
For
and the
sure.
stomach ache. I'm like, I know how that feels because I've
Uh-huh.
done that.
hmm
So I don't know. They figure it
That
out.
is,
But
yeah, that's true.
I had opinions. I thought I was never gonna do that. No sugar even in my house, but.
Stacey, if you were ever to relive your life,
Uh-huh.
would you do things the way they played out, or would you choose to get married younger, or would you choose to live elsewhere? Would you like?
No,
what do you?
I am
what do you
so
think?
grateful. Looking back, like I needed all those experiences to be where I'm at today. And I am super great. And I just think I am a faith person. So I think like God's timing is incredible. And had I gotten married younger, I would not be probably as happy and as one, as
Uh-huh.
I'm super grateful. There are
I love
a
that.
number of times looking back in my life, I just look and I'm like, thank God that didn't happen.
Mhm.
Thank, the guy or all
Yeah.
those scenarios that you're just like, oh, I'm so thankful
Yeah.
because where I'm at right now, I don't see a better spot
Mhm.
for me, my husband, our kids. Like it's a great place to live, even the winters. Like I love them. Like we live on a lake, so the hockey rink and
That's awesome.
all the
Yeah.
activities. It's just wonderful. So I'm grateful looking back on the life
Uh-huh.
and at times, oh man, in my 20s, I wanted to meet the guy and get married and
Oh,
have
for
kids.
sure. Yeah, and I'm asking that just
Yeah.
strictly because I also didn't get married until 30 something.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and somebody the other day told me, we went to church on Sunday, and my friend was like, I don't know how you're pregnant now. I swear God gave you the body. Last time I was pregnant was 6 years ago, and I just couldn't even do it. I'm like, okay, thank you. That sounds like an encouragement, like hidden, but it's, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of dying, but yeah, thank you for saying that you think I can do it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So then
funny.
I just feel like it's a lot more, I don't know. And I feel like always I fall back on having a fully developed brain when you have kids versus when I'm just thinking like my dad was 19 when I was born. And I'm just thinking, how can you can't like figure your own life out. You
Right.
maybe have a structure, you maybe are doing a job,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just such a different ballgame when you're an adult
Right.
and you can call somebody and ask for advice. You're not freaking out. You're not like your hormones all over the place.
And I think though that there are, everyone's path is different, and there are
Mhm.
some women that are. It's like at 20, 20,
Like
20,
natural,
like that
yeah.
is just perfect and like very. But for me, like I'm just so grateful because it just worked out the way it's supposed to. So.
And you probably don't feel. We have a group of friends that just like party, and they in their late 30s, and I'm thinking, I bet that's because you guys got married at 22. You cannot. Your mind is in a FOMO stage somewhere.
Like what did I miss?
Yeah. So then I'm thinking you've been to Ireland and Portugal and Argentina and all these countries you're naming. So you
Yeah.
you have no right to say like I missed out because you've done it all. So it's just not and you had time for that.
Yes.
Which I feel like some of those things can only happen when you are single or married with no children.
Right.
Because otherwise
It's just more challenging.
And I think it like allows you to like live more, like because I feel like people who have kids a little older too, it's like I feel like you seem youthful for longer because you're like, oh,
you have to
this, like phase of life that's like with children, and like I just remember my parents were kind of in the middle with me, but very young with my sister. And I remember like my friends, like some of their parents were older, but I was like, it's crazy that they seem like so much younger.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
because of their life stage.
it's just like, they're like, oh, my kid's graduating high school and they're like mid 60s. But they like literally are like, they're retiring. And they're like, then you hear about them retiring, like, they're not even that old. But I think it's just like, I think it really does like keep you young. And like, it's so true of the like age is just a number. And I'm like, anytime I think about that, I'm like, oh, I'm not, and I'm like older, I'm like in my later 30s. And it's like, it's actually like, keeping me younger,
for sure.
I think, than like if I wouldn't have been.
You have to keep up.
I'm like, right? Would have been nuts. And I think my patience was so limited. I mean, now my patience still feels thin sometimes, but like
it's just the sleep deprivation.
Of, like, you give a little bit more grace. I think you've experienced more stuff, and I think you're just more like chill.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Stacey, if you were to give traveling advice, I would like to hear, I want to say 3, but I'll say 5. Okay. Either countries or 5 places, maybe nationally, that everybody has to visit, like hands down, because you've been to so many places, so you probably
that's such a great question. I love it. Well, I lived in Italy for 9 months, so Italy is like a little bit of a home. You know,
these guys are going, they might need advice.
Oh,
yes.
awesome.
With 23 of my husband's family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lots of kids.
That's a different, wow.
That's going to be maybe not as free.
Yeah. I love, New Zealand was a huge surprise. I went with my sister and that was.
Do you love Sauvignon Blanc like me?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah. Yes.
Isn't that the best Sauvignon Blanc?
Yes. Yeah. So I love New Zealand. I thought that was really great. Where else?
What about like South or Central America? That's where I don't think I've ever been.
I mean, Argentina was wonderful. We did like a whole tour down to Patagonia and hiking, and that was really amazing.
Because Argentina has like million climates, right?
Yes. So we went to the wine country. There's a theme in here about wine. I'm just kidding. And that was, and then, all the way down. The southernmost tip of Argentina we went to, which was Ushuaia.
Do people ski there? Or?
No, it's more, that's where like the launch boat to Antarctica is.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and there's like a penguin colony. And
amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Speaking of, I think like the French Alps I loved.
Okay.
Chamonix, and I went in the summer and hiked and just, I don't know, but then where else?
Anything like exotic or like any African countries you've been to?
I haven't been to Africa. Oh, except for, well, we did, as part of the trip, we went to another just random was like Israel and Egypt. And that was amazing. And even on like Christmas Eve, we like walked to Bethlehem, and it was just amazing. So that was just a different experience. I would really like places I'd love to go. I want to go to Croatia and Greece.
Okay. I've been to Greece. I haven't been to Croatia. Croatia and Montenegro. We usually pair. Nice. Because once you are there, then you just
I would love to go back to Europe. I love to travel. I just know it's not probably not for a little bit of time.
Have you done any like travel with your kids?
No. We when my son was 3 months old, we went to Hawaii. Okay. Which at that time, 3-month-old baby.
Easy. Should be easy, right?
Well, kind of, but the flight, like the time, and the time changed. So he was going to bed at like 3 p.m.
For sure.
And we were like this, and then he has a peanut allergy, and we found out on that trip that he had one, and so it was just like a disaster. So
I feel like you have one experience like that, and you're like, okay.
Well, we are great. My kids are awesome travelers. We always try to go to Florida or somewhere during spring break. We do a road trip every summer, and
nice
to Colorado.
So you're like getting them ready.
I
for something
love
big.
Adventures. I'm those even daily adventures, but it's just probably.
Yeah, I mean, you wait a little bit. Yeah.
Get everyone out of like stroller phase and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're talking Europe, it's a lot of walking. So it's either you are carrying them or they are being pushed.
Right.
And there is really no other option there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's a good question, though. I got to think about the travel more.
Yeah, no, I feel like you are a good advice giver on trips. Yeah. I remember that. what did you stop apologizing for? We've been asking everybody that question.
Apologizing. It's a good one.
Either later, either like, I don't know, long
It's
time
funny
ago
though,
or
like,
recently.
No, I mean, I still catch myself a lot. I think at work, I
Mhm.
hate, and right as I write sorry, I'm like, no, don't. And the other thing is I realize I apologize for others, and I don't like that either.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, my kid hit you,
Okay.
or,
Yep.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I gotta drop that.
Yeah.
Like
That's
or,
great.
oh, I'm sorry he can't attend because, I'm just like, no, you just,
We just can't attend. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Don't frame it like, yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So, but that's a good one. I feel like I notice it more, like when I'm about to apologize.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Stacey.
And I
just
don't
cut
know
it.
if this like quality is tied to gender, because I don't kind of hear
I
a lot of
think
men
so.
apologizing
Right.
for things. So maybe they're just not
Yeah.
like empathetic enough.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't think things bother other
Right.
people. Because I feel like we kind of overthink that maybe
Right.
as like a female gene of like, oh,
Yeah.
did that
Oh, did
rub
that
you the
rub
wrong
you
way?
Right.
Do
Yeah.
I need to say something to kind of like bridge the gap?
Yeah.
Are you
Mhm.
mad at me or something?
Yeah.
Where I don't feel like I hear men
Yeah.
Apologizing on behalf
a lot
others,
of no, or like even their own children. I don't think
Yeah.
Noah ever thinks that our kids are doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, he could like correct them
Yeah.
to
Right.
them, but not towards other people.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
yeah,
that's
I
just
think
an-
like apology, even like asking for permission. Like
Mhm.
I've realized like that is so like to my husband. Oh, can I just go take a shower? I'm like, why
Yeah,
am
like,
I
he would
asking?
never ask you.
You, yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
why am I
I'm
asking
gonna go
him?
take a shower. But,
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's caught me like, you don't have to ask me. Like just but I'm like, why do I feel like I have to ask
Yeah.
for permission to do?
Because maybe
Can I
you're
just
like
go to the
trying.
bathroom by
Yeah.
myself? Can you
Yeah.
take the kids?
Yeah.
You know? So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I think those two areas are just more
Yeah.
things. I mean,
Mhm.
I
like
just
that.
am realizing
On
I
behalf
need to
of
do.
others.
Yeah.
Mhm. Was there an item you bought recently or maybe got as a gift this year that's like not like under $100 that was instrumental in your household or your
Instrumental?
life or
I
something
wish.
like that?
I wish I had the miracle of something. Oh
Oh.
man. I don't.
Could be a lotion too. You never.
Well,
I
I
mean,
was thinking like I think what I just recently bought that I just really enjoy
uh-huh.
is like anything that I have to do around the house that maybe I don't love, I try to make it a little bit better. So like laundry, I just bought this great glamorous. It's called like glamorous
Yes.
laundry detergent.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
does
you
it
put
smell
a little.
amazing?
Oh, it smells amazing. My friend Sheila recommended it. I was like, I love this. So when you're folding the laundry, it just is nice. And I just bought like new napkins and like
Uh-huh.
dishcloths and
Okay.
new soap for doing dishes. And I just feel like it kind of puts you in a better mood when you have to
Okay,
do
I
that.
love that. Yeah,
But
that's
nothing like,
I like
nothing
that
like for you.
glamour
Yeah.
wash. I think
yeah,
I've
the
heard-
glamour wash. I think that you
Mhm.
can get it.
I've heard of it, and I'm like, is this worth it?
I know, because it's like 20
It's-
bucks for
it-
like.
It's like a little thing.
Yes.
I've literally had it in and out of my cart on Amazon. So,
But there is a tip that you put it in unscented laundry detergent. You just pour, and it will then last a lot longer.
Oh,
You know
look
what I
at
mean?
that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do that.
That was my
That's
niece
great.
TikTok. She was like,
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I think I saw the like that you need.
Yes,
not
glamorous
hide.
wash.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
It
having
was so
me.
fun to learn more about you. I always knew that you were just driven and have a lot of adventures that you chose. And yeah, it was
Thank
fascinating
you.
to get to
It's
know
fun. It's kind of fun to look back on.
Yeah.
you. For sure. Just
You know,
kind of
your
like,
life
look
and
how much
Saying
you've
yes to things. I
accomplished.
feel like you've just been like, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Say yes.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being with us. We're going to see you next week.